Hi, and welcome to lecture number 5. To support this book, The Easy Way to Learn Astrology. You can buy the book from any bookstore. It's quite cheap, actually. It's only £13. And I am developing this series of astrology videos to accompany the book. So the whole point really is that most of this is for free. I partnered up with AstroDienst or astro.com so that you can register there and print off the charts that you want in the style that you'll be seeing in the book. That's all for free. You just register. Yes, you buy the book for £13. You get these videos also to support, and a Facebook page called, would you believe, The Easy Way to Learn Astrology, where you can go and ask questions and find like-minded people and things like that. And the point of this video is to really talk about the element of air. And it's a good time to talk about the element of air, actually, because we've got Jupiter and Mars going conjunct in the air sign of Gemini over the next couple of days. So, right. Air is the second masculine element. So we've got two masculine elements. We've got fire and air, and we've got two feminine ones, water and earth. So going back to the element of air, masculine, so then what we can expect from it, because of its masculine behavioral description, is that there will be the presence of certain features of the masculine, and that is moving outwards, initiating, instigating. It's not so much secretive with the masculine signs. It's all about being upfront, and there is a confidence about them, and you notice them. There is movement, and it's forward movement. That would be the best way to describe it, I think. There are 3 zodiac signs, so 3 layers to the air element. The bottom one is Gemini, which is all about collecting information. And the next one up is Libra, which is all about learning how to live in the world of 2 instead of the world of 1. And then the next one, the highest air sign, is Aquarius. And Aquarius is actually a sign which doesn't really want to live in the world of 1 or 2. Aquarius is just here for the stars and science and exciting things, science fiction, Star Trek, Stargate, bigger concepts. Yeah, that's and I'm always saying, and sorry if you're an Aquarius sun sign, but people with a lot of Aquarius in their chart don't actually like people. They prefer big crowds, football crowds. Anyway, so we've got some idea of what we're looking at. Now, what air is capable of doing, what air does do, this is the best thing that air does, is it put words and structure to intuition and gnosis and anything invisible. Air is able to give it a label. The use of air, using air, gives it a name, which means it can then be shared. Until something has a name, okay, so let's say a bird is sitting in the pram, looks up and sees this thing with feathers flying over. Until mummy says it's a bird, say bird, the child can't really file it in the filing cabinet because it needs a file name to put it under. Otherwise, everything is filed there, but how do you find anything? So the world of air is really like the world library in terms of it's a vast space full of distinctions, differences, but labeled things. And therefore, it enables us to memorize things. It enables us to consider the position of something versus its relationship to something else. Now, in this respect, I'm talking about the relationship to something else rather than romantic relationships. It is true that in a romantic relationship, such as, but this is Libra's world, we do get two partners relating to each other, but it's only in that Libra world that we get that, and that is because Libra is specifically about partnership in the world of two. That's what it specializes in, the world of two. Now, I've got the book here, and what I want to do is just read a few key things here, because I thought, well, do you know, when I wrote that, I think I got that pretty right. So I thought, well, why am I trying to remember? So I'll just read it out of the book. One of the most important concepts to grasp is that air is about relating, but it is not emotive. Emoting as in emotion. And it is not motivated by emotions. The word relate has different meanings. And the one we are studying here is in the context of relates to. And relates to means, and this is a dictionary definition, applies to, coordinates with, refers to, with reference to, appertains to, or belongs with. Now, what I particularly like there is coordinates with. And you'll always find in the world of Libra that something's got to coordinate with. This is in relation to that. So if a Libran is decorating, then they will most certainly have a swatch of fabric on them, which they then test against all the other colours and things in shops. Gemini does this in relation to, in relationship to, relating to, when it gets information and thinks, where does that information go in the library? So which shelf shall I put it on in my mind? Which filing cabinet shall I open? I need to know where that fits so that I can go back to it again. And then when it comes to Aquarius, Aquarius wants to know where that relates to the bigger picture, where that relates to the movement of science, the vast theories of mathematics. Aquarius is about how we relate to things like philosophy, religion, and having principles upon which we want to live, beliefs, this kind of thing. Aquarius is very interested in these bigger concepts. Okay, now I'm just going to go over and read a couple more things. It's a detached element which separates things, allowing scrutiny because they are no longer bunched together. The air around us fills the space in between things, seemingly keeping them apart. It isn't, but air fills those spaces. So it's about the space in between things. Now, it separates things and allows scrutiny because they're no longer bunched together. So what air does instinctively when it comes across a situation is air instinctively separates before it does anything else. It needs to get a vision, it pulls back so it can see clearly. It pushes away so that it can see in between. There's no hidden corners. And airy people are known for the fact that they don't want to emotionally cling. They want to step back and get a good view. And funnily enough, if Aquarius, for instance, really is liking someone, they don't get in closer. You'll see them just settling themselves just a little further away because they're enjoying getting a bigger picture from that person. The element of air has rulership over any communication of an extraterrestrial or supernatural kind. Uranus and Aquarius in particular are equipped to tune in to higher mind vibrations of a multi-dimensional nature. this is where it all gets very exciting. This Aquarius and Uranian, so Uranus being the ruler of Aquarius, it all gets very exciting where they have this jurisdiction over extraterrestrial or supernatural kinds of communication. Now, in the future, they will indeed be the zodiac signs that we turn to when we look to astrology to be able to encompass and describe the places that we will go to as a human race in the future. We will talk to aliens, and we need an astrology to describe that. We need an astrology that describes who is communicating with these aliens. Well, that will be done through the zodiac sign of Aquarius. It's that kind of simple. We don't need an astrology to tell us that life is changing and we're going to do some amazing things, but we do need astrology to describe it. Okay, so so Aquarius in particular is changing in order to be equipped to speak to a higher mind of a religious or spiritual connotation, to tune into vibrations of a multi-dimensional nature. Aquarius is in change. It is broadening out. It is growing in the distance in order that it will represent this. It already knows. And I feel particularly the zodiac sign of Aquarius is changing. It truly is. It's getting, I would say, wiser and more thoughtful, maybe. Now, you may know air signs and you may think of them as, well, I remember one astrologer, Liz Green, describing them as somewhere between a refrigerator and a hybrid computer, something like that. A hybrid between a computer and a refrigerator, that was it. Because they can be quite cold and distant. Yes, but then you have to take into account that air's mission is to understand and allow communication. And so it has sort of an academic air or a sciencey air, and it, in as much as it must gather information and look at things through the lens of academia or the lens of learning or the lens of education and information. We can find quite a few mad professors, this kind of stuff, in the world of air. And actually the world of air does lend itself to pursuit of mathematics and science. It's because the language itself lends itself to discerning the separate bits, looking at separate bits and being able to move them around. If these separate bits were all in water, they'd be soggy and lying on the bottom of the ocean. We wouldn't be able to separate them at all. Air has a particular quality, which means that you can reason, discern, define, differentiate, and in relating to, can come up with different theories. It's quite a sophisticated element, actually. Let's see what else I did here. And that is the key to understanding the air of astrology. It moves and connects up, right? What is? We only know air is there when it moves. And actually air signs do enjoy and partake of thinking that moves between one thing and another. And that is key to understanding the air of astrology. It moves and connects up, it networks. The air of our atmosphere is a medium that allows flight and connection. It transmits sound waves and allows us to relate using words. And I think that goes back to this thing I was saying about being able to name something. So just look at the Egyptian hieroglyphs, right? Developed thousands of years ago, but painted into tombs on walls in a way that means they are still preserved and we are still able to read them thousands of years later, leaving us an enormous wealth of information and opinion that means that there is a direct line of communication between the editors and the writers of those times and the readers of that information now. It's not water that does that. It's air. It's not earth. It's not fire. It's air that leaves something that someone can leave something that can then be picked up and identified, and allows a passage of information between the two things. I just want one more thing to say here. Air encompasses culture and language, which names things and allows a shared experience. Words record things in detail, but writing words down also separates intuition, instinct, and gut reaction, fire, from the brain. So the gut reaction of fire and the spirit doesn't allow us to separate off bits and examine them. It's instant. The brain, air, does. And that's a big difference between the two. Okay. I want to leave you, I mean, go into the book and now look at Gemini and Libra and Aquarius. And I think you'll have great fun when you recognize some things. I remember writing about Libra, and what's always astonishing about Libra is it has a great gift, and it will tell you it has a great gift for telling everybody how good they are or bad they are at relating, and how they're no good at relating, and Libra knows how to correct them and put them right. And then Libra is always separating off things and saying, but you do this to this, and then that happens to that. Now, if you were clever, you wouldn't do it that way. You do that to that, and then that would happen. And I think that's exactly right. Libra does do that. But Libra cannot ask for a hug. Libra cannot ask for a simple thing like a kiss, because it's too busy with structure to be emotional. It takes water to say, oh, can I have a hug? Or to say to a child, oh, do you want a big hug, baby? Come on. That is a watery thing. And so relating has two parts to it. Is the emotional part, water, which is the next video, and the air part, where there is a discussion, a dialogue, and things are discriminated. When you look at the symbols for the zodiac signs involved, so we've got the twins for Gemini, okay, 2 people, and then we've got a set of scales, the old balancing scales, for Libra, things got to balance. And then for Aquarius, we've got a really strange sign indeed, because we're told it's the water bearer, but Aquarius is an air sign. There are those that see the whatever is inside this urn or whatever it is that some of the symbolism shows to be carried by a man. Some people say, oh, well, it's not water, it's electricity, it's plasma, it's a highly sophisticated electrical, but further than electrical, light, which is coming from Aquarius to enlighten the world. It's not water at all. And that is an argument that, you know, I listen to. Yes, it makes sense. The actual symbol comes from the Egyptians. And the first place that we find it associated with Aquarius is in the Temple of Hathor, the Dendera Temple, where it is there is a zodiac, a Dendera zodiac carved on the ceiling. The actual zodiac was removed by the French and is now in the Louvre. The one that's actually in the Dendera Temple now is a copy. I just wondered if you would like to see what that looks like, because I'm fascinated by this. So I'm just going to share this to show you. Here we go. So this god here, Hapi, is the god of the inundation of the Nile, not the god of the Nile, the god of the inundation, the actual water that inundates Egypt. Okay, now it's an androgynous god, so Hapi has very full breasts, and he has in each hand a flagon from which he pours water. The zigzag lines are water. And yes, everybody is happy to understand that Hapi is the god who precedes and informs everybody about the inundation of the Nile. In fact, he drums before the waters arrive. He lives way down the south, and he hears the waters coming before they actually get to the main part of Egypt. The water he carries is magical, it's mystical, it's special, and it contains information and magic. I keep saying magical, but it's the best way I can put it. And so, water bearer, yes, but think about the communication that Hapi is involved with. He communicates a very, very important piece of information. The water that is needed to irrigate the lands so that they can grow crops and feed each other and not die, that water is on its way. And so there is a massive message which the god Hapi, as an androgynous figure, neither male nor female, is given the important task of carrying out. He gives or hears the beat of the drum long before the event happens. He's involved with astrology, one guesses, because Aquarius is the sign of astrology. I'm not saying the god is God himself, but it's the prediction. So I think there is a lot more than just what we it's the water bearer. I think there's a lot more than that. Anyway, have a look at it yourself. It's easy to find the image because it's in a place, it's on a wiki site called Wiki Commons or Wikimedia, and you just put in the Dendera Temple and Hapi or the Dendera Zodiac and look for him and have a look. Okay, so I think I'm going to close there on water. I've kind of opened the subject up, and so there's something for you to think about there, as well as the reading that you've got. This is a friendly element and an element that gives us our intelligence or allows our intelligence to have form and to be documented so that we can pass it on. And it gives us relating, but the relating from one thing to another thing, the relating of the chair to the table. Okay, so I hope that was useful anyway. So and carry on with the book, and I'm so thrilled that you've bought it and you're doing this, and I think it's fabulous. I want everybody to learn astrology, and then people can be a lot happier with their lives. And I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.